BuildAid is so proud to be part of this amazing, bustling city of gold. Come behind the scenes with us as we explore what really goes into the development, refurbishment and creation of this incredible city we call home. From past to present, we look at what makes Jersey unique and what the future holds. We chat to Dave Gurney all about Joburgs Heritage and its wonderful history, as well as highlight the Hillbrow area as a topic of discussion.
BuildAid on Mix 93.8 FM. Good evening. My name's Graham Alexander. In the studio as usual, Simon on the desk and Kay looking after all of us. We're going to be chatting about our favorite city, Joburg. And our guest, Dave Gurney, Tamsankwa and Kobo. Unfortunately, he is stuck in traffic, but he's going to be joining us soon. And we're going to be focusing as well on Hillbrow. And Simon and I always dig up some info about something. Last week was Uncle Charlie's. And I know that Mr. Nkobo also wants to chat about Hillbrow. Kay, what do you have on Hillbrow?
Well, that's our question tonight. So, Old Jersey, a little bit of a focus on Hillbrow, and it's a very easy question. We're looking for a place that you inevitably landed up for a late night snack of roasted chicken. So it was the best 2 a.m. chicken ever. If you know the answer to it, send us an SMS on 41348 and you could win a renovation guide. So you can renovate your home. You're going to have to get a little bit of advice from one of our guests if it's over 60 years old. And we're throwing in a beautiful bottle of wine so you can sip and think about what changes you're going to do to your home. So tell us what you know.
This is BuildAid on Mix, brought to you by AfriSam. One of my guests this evening, Dave Gurney, is a heritage specialist practitioner. He's also an architectural professional and a town planner. But tonight we're going to be talking about heritage and our favorite space, Joburg. Dave, thanks so much for coming to chat to us.
It's a real pleasure, Graham. And I must say, heritage makes me very excited. So it's a very exciting topic. And we're all involved with heritage because so many of us live in buildings that are over 60 years old. So if you do need to do something to your building and it is over 60 years old, then you have to apply for a heritage permit to do alterations or to demolish the building. And every year more and more people, their houses fall into that. So and then the research you do is so exciting and interesting. So there's so much about heritage in this exciting city of ours.
Let's start with the older than 60 years. So if your building is older, or not your building, your home is older than 60 years, you have to apply before you can make any renovations. Now, Dave, you've given me a really special case study here, and it's quite a large document based on a place that I know because it's a guy that used to be on this radio show called Brent. And what Dave has done is he's used his home as the case study. And it's in Blegauri. It's a section 34. We're not going to go through this document, Dave, but the point is, if you have a home older than 60 years, you need to talk to a professional like Dave to put one of these applications
That's right. So
in.
Most architects know exactly what to do. It's not a difficult procedure to do a Section 34 application. They do a little bit of research in the area, which is quite fascinating, the history of the area. Then they look at the building itself, and are there any amazing architectural features in the building? What kind of roofing, flooring, any moldings, something exciting? Also, who lived there? Were there any amazing people that lived, any historical people of significance, cultural heritage, whatever? And then they put the application together and they submit that for approval. And they submit that to the Provincial Heritage Resource Agency. And they meet pretty much every 2 weeks, and it takes approximately 8 to 12 weeks for an approval to be approved by the Heritage Agency. And it's quite interesting because even if your building was built before 1966, and even if there's 10 alterations done to it, your architect, whoever, or your heritage practitioner who does the report will put together an argument to say, look, it was a beautiful building, now it's been degraded, and in fact there's no heritage worth keeping, or this is the most stunning building, it has all these beautiful things, and this part of it has to be kept. And that's what makes it fascinating.
Hopefully the owner of a beautiful building wouldn't want to spoil it. But if you have a very ordinary building and it could have been added on to over a period of time, the chances are your application will go through and you could pretty much do what you like.
Yeah, I think most applications, well presented and well motivated, do go through because the professionals know what they're talking about. You get some that have great heritage value, and somebody wants to demolish or change the facade or do something awful to it. Then the Heritage Committee will say no. Rather look at this, see what you can preserve. That type of thing. So there's lots of ways of preserving certain features and changing other parts of it.
So the document that you've put together, Dave, and this is really wonderful because you've used something that I sort of know and understand. But Mr. Mean lives on this earth 1893 Blegauri, and as you said, it's sometimes a lot of fun putting them together, like the history of Blegauri. Give us a quick sort of what happened to Blegauri. How did it start?
Yes, it's quite interesting because that was a farm area north of Johannesburg, because Joburg, the Joburg boundary ended at Parkhurst, and this was farm area bought by Mr. Rattray. Well known, and he bought Craig Hall and Craig Hall Park, and then later on bought Blegauri. And Blegauri was actually it provided the produce, the vegetables and everything for Johannesburg. They had farms there, and they got their water from the Bromfontein and pumped up, and then. Quite late in the day, actually around about the 1940s, that was when the township was established. So it's in terms of Joburg, it's quite a new area. But you do the history of it, and then we look at the building itself and see what is interesting. But the history of Blegauri and the copy, like that copy in Dunkeld, there was a blockhouse there, a Boer blockhouse, and to stop the troops, coming from Pretoria, that type of stuff.
And that's between Craighall Park.
That's just
it's sort of, there's a road that has a copy in the middle of it.
That's right,
that
quite
one.
right. Yes, that's the one. Yeah. So there's lovely, fascinating stories. And then Mr. Rattray built that weir at where Jan Smuts Avenue crosses the river, the Bromfontein. There was a lovely weir there which created a beautiful lake, and it was about 20 minutes out of Joburg. So that's where they brought the people by horseback to come and rest and have a lovely
Fantastic.
Weekend away.
Right, let's go to another end of town close to Hillbrow called Hospital Hill.
Hospital Hill.
Simon
yes,
has dug up
yeah.
some stuff.
Well, I mean, what I've dug up and which I thought was pretty fascinating is that when the hospital first opened, which I think was in 1890, somewhere around that area, that the first hospital that was actually brought up in Joburg or opened up in Joburg was a couple of years earlier, November 1886. On the Doornfontein side of Commissioner Street that Dave says.
That's correct, yes. Because that's where the miners' camps were.
Yes.
And then the housing was started in Doornfontein.
Yeah.
So that was the obvious place. And there's still remnants of some of the medical rooms of the later hospitals that are in the area.
And they obviously identified that they needed more space because they wanted a general hospital. This city was blossoming every day, and Hospital Hill was sort of generated and the land was surveyed and given over, and I think the bottom end of Hospital Hill sort of touches on Smith Street.
Yes, just next to Joburg Park.
Yes.
They also placed the mortuary amongst all these hospitals, which was interesting. But somebody said to me, if you were born in Johannesburg before 1980 something,
You went through Hospital
90% chance you were born in one of the hospitals in Hospital Hill, and there are a whole list of them. I mean, obviously the General Hospital was
Queen
there.
Vic, which was one of the major.
I was born at the Queen Vic.
And then Florence Nightingale Hospital.
Marymount, Garden City Clinic. And then bringing back the sort of unfortunate past is there was the non-European hospital in amongst all of these hospitals.
But you know that,
and a children's hospital.
I think that those areas now are such a vital segment of the history of Johannesburg that those are the sought after places that you actually want to go to now. You want to go and see the non-European hospital, the whites only, Slex Blanks.
Well,
my Afrikaans is terrible.
The Joburg Heritage Foundation run a specialist tour of the old Joburg Hospital.
Yeah.
So they do have a tour of that area.
Okay, what we should do one day is ask everybody which maternity hospital they were born in, if they were born in Joburg. And I bet that it's going to be in one of these hospitals that we've mentioned.
Yeah, I think I was born at the Marymount, so there's one.
as well.
There you go. Where were you born, Dave?
I was born in Durban,
Okay.
Vele Tigwini, but we were born under the same sign. It said maternity home.
And Simon was born in Liverpool.
Sefton General.
Let's see who won the chicken quiz.
Okay, well, the answer was Fontana, of course, and well done to all your old jollers out there for getting it right. The winner is Alexandra, and she also remembers there was a saxophonist in the mid-80s used to wander the streets of Hillbrow serenading everyone.
I wonder if that was Darlington Jones.
I don't know if his name was Darlington. Maybe he was lost from coming back from your house. But well done to everyone who got the right answer. We appreciate you listening. And Alexandra will get hold of you tomorrow to get you that book and your bottle of wine.
Thanks to Simon looking after the desk and digging up some Joburg info. Thanks to Kay for looking after all of us. Ian doing the video work. But a special thanks to my guest, Dave Gurney. Thank you so much for coming to chat to us and sharing your knowledge with us.
I really enjoyed it. It was great. Thank you for having me.
Now, Dave, I know we're going to partner on a Facebook page and a website and so on, but we'll keep you posted so that everything we're chatting about on these shows, you can go and dig into it a little bit more and maybe contribute with some of your pictures. Up next is the greatest show on earth. We also do this every week between 6 and 7. Chat you next week. Ciao.
But there's something wrong, and I can't hurt you bad. There must be so much love in my heart that it would tear me apart. And I know, although you couldn't see, you hurt me.